Silicon Valley, technology, art, green, and sustainability.
Welcome to another episode of Silicon Valley Tech, Art, Green, and Sustainability. Today I'm very honored to have two guests with me who are working with ZERO1 Festival, which is what we love here. It's technology and art. So Jaime Austin, thank you for joining us.
My pleasure.
And ISHKY.
Thank you.
I love that name, ISHKY. So if you both could do us a favor, and before we get into ZERO1, tell us a little bit about yourself and what you do and what you've done, and if you want to give us a little background, and we'll start with you, Jaime.
Sure. Well, I grew up here in San Jose, California, and I've always been interested in both art and technology. I went to Santa Clara University, studied both computer information systems and art history, and always was trying to find a way to combine these two, which is why ZERO1 is the perfect place to be, because ZERO1 is where art meets technology to shape the future, and we focus on artists working at this intersection with technology, and those are my two passions.
And how long have you been with them?
I've been with ZERO1 since 2009 and had attended some of the festivals before then and always thought that it would be just the most fun place to work ever, so I'm happy to be here.
And I bet it is.
It is. It's never boring. I will definitely tell you that.
And ISHKY.
Yes.
So have you always been an artist? And
I think anyone who's passionate about what they do is an artist all the time, because if you care about what you're doing, you're putting everything you have into it. I have a business in San Francisco, a communications business, and we get to have the privilege of working on some of the largest civic and social projects in California history. And I think everybody who works there as an artist, we pour ourselves into it. Formally as an artist, it's a relatively new space for me. To move from the sort of concrete form of communication I'm used to the more intentionally ambiguous space of creating experiences for people at the scale at which I'm doing it is pretty brand new.
Let's bring up a first clip right now of ZERO1 2010, and it's yeah. So this was the Friday night, kickoff, right?
Exactly. Every Friday night of the Biennial, there's a big street festival that takes place in South First Street. We take over the SoFa district. And the one that's coming up soon, we have a different theme every year. Our theme for the whole Biennial this go around is Seeking Silicon Valley.
Oh, neat.
And on the Friday night street festival, which is called Emerge, we're focusing specifically on the work of emerging artists. And we have 84 artists on last count who will be presenting projects on the street, literally filling those 3 blocks, trying to reimagine South First Street to look and feel like how people imagine Silicon Valley to be.
And South First Street, again, is the SoFa district.
Exactly.
And so it's from William Street?
It's on South First between San Carlos and Reed Street, so it's a 3-block area there.
And so for people that may or may not know, Original Joe's kind of is the start of that, and then you go down the other way.
Yeah. Exactly, the other way is that Gore Park, the little triangle park.
So that's amazing. So the kickoff is in September, and this is every 2 years. Let's also bring a first slide up right now for the ZERO1. So this is actually the famous, every year you guys do this, and you can bring that slide down. That's the City Hall, and you do something fun. We'll see some video of that later on. So you always do something fun with the City Hall too.
We do, but we've changed it up a little bit this year. In the past 3 biennials, because right now we're working on the 4th one, we have done a large projection at City Hall, which we love, but with ZERO1 opening up a new space, because the ZERO1 Garage, as we're calling it, kind of playing off this history of all these companies that have been founded in garages here in Silicon Valley, will open on South First Street between San Salvador and Williams, so that will be ZERO1's permanent home. We'll have an exhibition space, a fellowship space, and our offices will be there. So we've decided to move all of our projects to SoFa, so the large-scale projection project is going to blanket those 3 blocks of downtown San Jose now.
So let's back up a little bit. I know a lot about ZERO1. I've been following it the first year, 2006, and then 2008 I went, and actually we had a client placed in 2006 some nanotechnology glass that they projected some stuff on, and then 2008 and then 2010. So it's every 2 years. Can you tell the audience a little bit about what it is and the concept?
Absolutely. So the ZERO1 Biennial, it's basically a large contemporary art festival focused on artists working at the intersection of technology. It involves exhibitions, there's public art, there's performance, and this year in 2012, it literally blankets all of Silicon Valley, the San Francisco Bay Area, and beyond. We'll have a main exhibition at the ZERO1 Garage in downtown San Jose, but we also have more than 45 partnering organizations around the Bay Area who are participating in the Biennial and presenting events that'll take place throughout the fall and winter. And then we have a really strong public art program that's based both in downtown San Jose, and we have projects like ISHKYs that will literally kind of, cover and blanket the Silicon Valley area as well.
Yeah, and for people that haven't gone, it's amazing. And let's bring the next clip up right now, which I think is going to be, So now that was at the museum, San Jose Museum of Modern Art, and it was kind of, I call it the sailboat. They had these beautiful things in the ceiling there.
Exactly. Yeah, that was a piece by Tim Hawkinson. That was part of the exhibition there. We have, I think, 8 different partners in downtown San Jose specifically that are presenting exhibitions and programs. And the Biennial is big. We had 47,000 people who came to downtown San Jose in 2010, and we're really hoping that we can top that this go around.
And is it getting bigger every year?
It is. It's getting bigger both by attendance, which is great, and even the number of projects. We have more than 200 artists who are participating in the Biennial this year, that represents so many different, mediums. And I feel like you'll come and you'll definitely see something that you've never seen before.
Let's bring up the next 2 slides right here too, because these are another couple projects. So this is one of the artists that's. Do you want to talk a little bit about the slide?
Sure. So this is a fun one. So Gambiologia, they're an artist collective that's based in Brazil. And I think that's another interesting thing to point out is that the artists that present at ZERO1 come from around the world. I think we have, 15 countries represented in the Biennial exhibition where you'll see the picture there. They respond to, it's called Gambiarra, which is the maker culture, and what they call that in Brazil, which I think is tied to a lot of the maker culture and something that we have here. And they make projects called the iPhone, for example, where they think, what is an iPhone? It's a calendar. It's it has a bell in it. It lights up. It has email, and then they kind of make these different things and hang them almost like a giant, dangling charm bracelet to make projects that you can see and experience at the garage.
Let's bring up one more slide right now. And that didn't come out as well as I thought it would. Will we bring that down? So Lynn Harshman. And we bring that one down.
Yeah, Lynn Hirschman-Leeson. So she's a local artist, a pioneer in video and new media art who's based in San Francisco. And for this project, she's actually using live data that's looking at water toxicity data from San Jose, Silicon Valley, and the Bay Area, and then projecting that onto vials of water. And depending on the toxicity level, it's color coding, and you see these video clips of babies swimming through the water as a way to get like a real emotional, visceral response to see like what you're drinking really does affect both us and our future generation.
Okay, I'm going to bring up one more clip right now from the 2 years ago, the next clip, and here's. So now that was really fun. That was part of the Friday night, and there's the interplay of art and people, and that's the fun part about it too, is there's a lot of stuff that you can play with and mix with. And I guess now we're going to go to you, ISHKY, and we have I think we have 3 slides for you as well with some of the stuff you're going to tell us about what your project is and what you're doing.
My project is really based on the power of impossible thinking. I'm working on another project in the Bay Area, which ZERO1 has been very helpful on, called the Bay Lights, and people will see that later on in San Francisco, putting 25,000 LEDs and working with the artist Leo Villarreal on a project on the Bay Bridge. In that project, for it to get the critical mass that it's got was really the impossibility is what made people so excited about it. And as I was bicycling through San Francisco thinking about that, thinking about impossible ideas, suddenly the notion of pie in the sky thinking in pi actually flashed across my view pan, but it was the numeric sequence of pi. 3.1415 and so on and so forth. And I thought first it was funny, then I thought no, I really like this concept of putting this mathematical constant in the sky, a number that's considered irrational, that's infinite and non-repeating. And it turns out it's possible to do. I'm working with a skywriting company called AirSign, and they have a dot matrix printing technology that puts 5 single-engine aircraft 10,000 feet in the sky in airspace Bravo. And they can actually print. They typically print commercial messages of very short length, but in this case, we figured out how to juice their technology and not have to change any rules to print 1,000 unbroken characters of pi's random and infinite numeric sequence in a 150-mile arc around the entire Bay Area, starting right over the ZERO1 garage, which is a great honor. So people who are part of the ZERO1 celebration can come up and witness this number begin at 3.14, and then it will just go. It will go around the entire Bay Area, over Oakland and Berkeley, over the Bay Bridge and the Golden Gate Bridge, around San Francisco, and it will come back down the high-tech corridor of 101, Google, Facebook, and Apple, and so forth. And then it will actually make a couple of rotations right around the ZERO1 garage in San Jose before we reach that 1,000th character.
Now, I was reading your Kickstarter campaign, and you started talking about satellites as well.
Yeah.